Chrissy Boys. My husband Ben and I lead the Irmo Small Group. We've been at Riverside for 6 years. We have 3 kiddos. Our oldest is 10, Joshua. Austin is 6, and Hannah is 4. When I think of discipleship, I think of helping to introduce someone to God and helping them to know Him and be able to have their own relationship with Him. So when I think of that with my kids, I kind of get this image of a small child that I'm introducing to somebody. And often small children are a little bit intimidated to be introduced to grown-ups, but introducing them to God, it's abstract, it's a little scary, it's big, it's unknown, and so picture this child hiding behind my leg a little bit, and I could say, God already knows you, but here, let's learn about Him, let's meet Him, and show that He is somebody who loves them, and we can talk to Him, we can know about Him by His Word and by His Spirit, and so let's talk to Him. And that little person might say, well, can you do it for me? And so I'll pray for her and say, sure, we can say something like this, and just bringing them kind of into God's presence and helping to introduce them. And as they grow in that, they'll learn more about God and know who He is, be able to talk to Him on their own, learn how to listen to Him, not just talk at Him when they pray, but listen for His Spirit. My family, my parents became believers when they were 30, and they had grown up in a religious environment, but the Lord really captured their hearts when they were 30, and it totally changed their lives, and so changed the way that they parented us. So a lot of what they did was not based on, we should add these things, we should do family devotions, we should do such and such with our kids. It was more flowing out of their own love for the Lord and what they were learning. And I think they really exemplified what it says in Deuteronomy 6 of teach your children these things as you walk along the way, as you sit, as you rise, as you lie down. That it was just part of our everyday to have conversations that were about God, that we'd ask questions about the things going on in our lives, and they would reflect on what does God say about that, or how would He view this situation. I remember lots of conversations driving in the car. My parents took advantage of this kind of, we weren't walking along the way, we were driving along the way and having those conversations. I remember them reading Bible stories to us a lot, but the things I remember more are the conversations that I didn't even know necessarily I was asking a question that God had a response to, but that it just so flowed out of them to, well, what will God say? Let's seek His wisdom, and let's find out if He's already said something about this. Yeah, the Lord has taught me to honor the faith of a child, to not try to make their faith more adult-like. In the Gospels, Jesus says, unless you turn and become like a little child, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. And so, and there's something significant there about how the Lord loves the faith of a child. It also says not to hinder them from coming to Jesus. And so that's also something that helps when I think about discipling them. What hindrances am I putting in their way, or could I be putting in their way that I want to avoid? Trying not to exasperate them by giving them teaching or lessons that are not where they are, that could be exasperating. that could hinder them from knowing God. Too much sort of religious stuff that talk at them that can turn into blah, 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 and they tune out. So I don't want to hinder them from coming to God, and I want to honor the childlike faith that they have.